This is section 4.7, Applied Optimization. This section has a bunch of word problems. All of them have to do with derivatives and finding the either min or max of some sort of situation. So we're going to go ahead, go through this example, and as we go through it, we're going to have a little mini flowchart over here of how to approach these types of problems that you can apply to other problems in this section. So this example we're going to go through is really similar to number 14 in your book, and it tells us that a box with a square base has black paint on the sides and white paint on the top and bottom. The volume of the box is 30 centimeters cubed. Tells us that white paint is $2 per centimeter squared, black paint is $1, and it's asking for the dimensions of the box to minimize the cost. Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and start with number 1. Number 1 is draw a picture. Everyone's favorite step. So we have a box. I'll attempt to draw a box here. And there we go. So it tells us that it has a square base. So we know this bottom here, we'll label it S and S. They're the same length. And then this side here is going to be H. This is our height, not the same as the sides. Okay, so we have this box, and we know the 4 sides are going to be black, and the white is going to go on the bottom and top. All right, so we drew a picture. Step 2 is we're going to come up with our equations. This is a lot of times the hardest part. So what they're asking for is the dimensions of the box to minimize the cost. So we'll need to come up with some sort of cost equation because that's what we want to minimize. So our cost function, let's say C of X, is, well, what are we buying? We have white paint for $2 per centimeter squared, black paint for $1 per centimeter squared. So what we can do is say, well, how much white paint are we going to use? We're using it on only the bottom and the top for the white paint. And we know that the bottom and the top, those dimensions are just S by S. And we have 2 of them. So we have 2 times S squared. This is the total area that's going to have white paint times how much white paint is, which is $2. Okay, here's our cost for white paint. Plus, let's do the same with black paint. We know that black paint is going on all of the sides, so we have 4 of them. And we know that's $1 per centimeter squared. So the dimensions of my sides are just S by H. And remember, I have 4 of them. And the cost is $1. Okay, so here's a pretty good equation for my cost formula. And remember, I want to minimize this. So eventually I'm going to take the derivative of this function. But looking at what I have now, I have too many variables. I have 3 variables, don't know what to do with that. What I'll need to do is find some set relationship between these variables so that I can solve for one variable, plug it back in, and then have my function in terms of only 2 variables. So what else did they tell me in the function? In the question. They told me that the volume of the box is 30 centimeters cubed. So I can say, well, I know how to find the volume of the box. It's just base times width times height. And I know that that value is 30. So I can say 30 is equal to S times H, or S squared H. And at this point, I can just solve for one of my variables and then plug it back into this function. I'm going to go ahead and solve for H, and I get that H is equal to 30 over S squared. I'll plug it back in to my cost function, and I'll have a function written in terms of only 2 variables. So now I'm going to multiply this out. I have 4S squared plus 4S times 30 over S squared. One of the S's are going to cancel, and I'll have 4 times 30 over S. Okay, this is looking pretty good so far. Let's fill in the second step here. So the equations I came up with, I had one that was a set relationship between the variables. This is called my constant function. And my other one is called the objective function. This function, my cost function, is the objective one. This is the one that I want to take the derivative of so that I can find the minimum cost. So let's go ahead, take the derivative of this function. When I take the derivative, I get, use my power rule, 8s plus, when you multiply 4 by 30, here we can rewrite this as 120 times s to the negative 1. The derivative of 120, s to the negative 1, bring the negative down. This becomes minus 120, s to the negative 2. All right, let's rewrite this a little bit. And also remember, we're trying to find the minimum value. Whenever you're trying to find the minimum of some function, you want to take the derivative, set it equal to 0. So we set this equal to 0. We get 8s, and this becomes minus 120 over s squared. Let's add this over to the other side, and we have 120 over s squared equals 8s. Multiply my s squared over, and I get 120 is equal to 8s cubed. And solving for my s, I divide the 8 over 120 over 8. That simplifies down into 15. And taking the cube root, I get that cube root of 15 is equal to s. Oh boy, that was a lot. But we have a value for s now. Now to verify that this is the minimum cost, right, because we don't want to find a maximum. To verify that this is the minimum, we can go ahead and we can do our first derivative test. And if you remember, for first derivative test to find our min and max, we put in our critical point, which in this case is cube root of 15. We plug in a value lower and a value higher than this number. So I don't really know what the cube root of 15 is, but let's try x equals 1, or I guess s equals 1 in this case. And maybe s equals 100. Okay, if I were to plug 1 into here, into this value, I'll get 8 minus 120. This will be negative. And if I plug 100 into this value, I'll get 800 minus a really, really small number. This will be positive. Since going from decreasing to increasing, I know that this critical point is in fact a minimum. Good news. Okay, so I have my dimension for my s, but I still need my dimension for my h. So I'm going to go back to this set relationship over here and solve for my h. When I plug in s is equal to rad 15, I get h is equal to 30 over rad 15 squared, which we can just go ahead, leave it like this. Who wants to do math? Okay, so now I have that my s is equal to cube root of 15 and my h is equal to 30 over cube root of 15 squared. Okay, and let's finish this flow chart. So, brief review. First thing we did, we drew a picture of the situation. Second thing we did, we came up with our two equations. The first equation we came up with was the one we were actually interested in. It was the cost of the situation. This was the objective equation. It's what we wanted to take the derivative of. But in order to take the derivative, we first needed to solve for one of our variables so we could get rid of it and have an equation in terms of only two variables. In order to do that, we needed our set relationship equation, or our constant equation. We solved for one of our variables, plugged it in, then we took the derivative of our objective equation, and we found the critical points, and then, which is what we did when we set the derivative equal to 0, we solved for s, and then we just solved for both of our variables, for both s and for h. And we got these values. I hope you found this video really helpful. The concepts covered in this video are true no matter what calculus class you're in, but all the sections and problems I referenced were from this textbook right here. And remember that if you're a registered Baylor student, we offer free tutoring on the first floor of Sid Rich. You can either